a step-by-step of how I do a dragon. This is a miniature from WizKids. WizKids miniature. He came pre-primed, so we're not going to cover priming today in this video. But there are a few things we have to do before we are ready to really paint. And this is something a lot of people overlook, but it will make an impact on your final product. So any little blemish is a detractor, and it just kind of messes with the overall appearance. So basically what I'm going to do is take my handy dandy hobby knife, and anytime I see a mold seam, I'm just going to drag it across and just sort of file it down. Nice and easy. If you find some place where this gets into a lot of detail, I mean, my best advice is just do the best you can, preserve as much of that detail as you can, but just kind of go around the model, look for things like this, and just a light touch, and you just scrape all that off. For instance, where I was talking about, I don't know if you can see right here, you see there's a line going right through all his scales. Can you see that? What I do here is you just follow the contour as best you can. I kind of tend to err on the side of leaving the panel line versus scraping off detail. Sometimes maybe in the weathering steps later on, you can kind of hide those blemishes a little bit, kind of make them look like, especially like fantasy creatures or war creatures, you can maybe put some battle damage there, or something that you, basically when you make mistakes, there's ways to cover it up, make it look like you meant it to be there, and nobody knows the difference. In fact, some of the things people are like, oh wow, I really like that detail on your model. That's a total mess up. I was covering my tracks. So just kind of go along the outside here. Here's a little burr, tip of his wing there. This side doesn't look like it got out of the mold very well. I just kind of shave all those pieces off. Just take your time. Most of the time you don't have a deadline for this, unless you're DMing and you've got people coming over to your house and you don't have your boss figure ready to go and you got to get it done. In that case, your players are just going to have to use their imagination. Figure out what you got. This is probably the most tedious and least exciting part of painting a miniature, but extremely important. If you don't do this, you just look lazy. And it's the details that matter. Through as best I can. You know, this is a flat-bladed knife. Citadel and some other people, they make a curved one so that when you do rounded edges, you get the contour a little better. I just make gentle scrapes. So see right here on his muscles back here, you know, you don't want that to be super flat. I just do little things, and I kind of vary the angle of my knife as I scrape it, so I'm not leaving, so it's a little more rounded. You know, it's not all like a big old flat spot. I mean, it'd be kind of hard to pull that off as battle damage. He's got a really bad seam line right behind his foot. And later on, when we get into this, you'll see why it's really important to get rid of these things. In fact, I might leave one just so you can see why, because they are going to stick out like a sore thumb later. Actually, you know, see this one down here on his leg? I'm just going to leave that one for now, and you'll see later on one of the other steps why it matters. Okay, so there we go. I got him fairly cleaned up.